Hey everybody, welcome welcome back to my channel. My name is Leah Catherine, this is Leah Sees Movies, and we are back with the next episode of Young Justice. When we left off, Mantis had successfully acquired the Phantom Zone projector. Metron had busted into the completely ineffective Peace Galaxy Summit situation and was like, come with me if you want to prevent the galaxy from being destroyed by Kryptonians. And there was a sea shanty, which I enjoyed very much. I hope we get like weird Kryptonian chant songs just for the rest of the time. I hope they try to like take over the rest of the world and galaxy. I hope they fight the Justice League while singing songs. I like, it's like the minute it happened, I realized everything I'd been missing. It was beautiful. Gar went to therapy and was like, wow, this works. So the lesson there is go to therapy, guys. Don't be a dick at your intervention. Sometimes it helps. Not always. I guess it helps if your therapist is a superhero, but you know, lessons learned. Did anything happen with Rocket? That's silly. Of course not. And Orion has maybe a secret nice side. We saw that he was the only one who, he was pushing to claim Cyborg and Violet, and then he was the one who was like, you know what, never mind. We're no longer pushing for that. We're not requesting it. So maybe there is a little kernel of niceness underneath his extremely rough facade. All right, anyway, you guys already watched the last episode, so I'm gonna keep this one brief. I was really looking forward to getting into this, so let's get started. I have the theme song from Chalk Zone stuck in my head. Like, I'm trying to hit play and all I can hear is, who's got the chalk? Anyway. I thought that was an eyeball and not a boat, and I was about to get like really excited because I thought we were just gonna see some weird eldritch being. Okay. Not an eldritch being, but a bunch of spirits.
I've been trying for months now with no luck locating his spirit. In modern terms, I simply cannot get a signal.
I know someone who can help.
Hello, great girl.
Well, I'm glad this system seems like it's been working out. She gets to see her dad. I still feel like they should just be able to put Nabu in a safety deposit box. Like, what are you gonna do about it when you're a helmet? But I guess we need to like protect the world from chaos or whatever. That'd be so much more believable if he didn't get his ass kicked all the time. Well, yeah, everyone in this intro like gets a little something, and then Nightwing, has he been? I'm genuinely trying to remember like him being in this season at all, and I do not remember it.
Planning to get this Phantom Zone projector away from the new gods.
Honestly, I have no idea. We're making this up as we go. But one way or another, it must be destroyed.
So are they just traveling through time or just very, very fast? Which I guess is technically traveling through time. Ooh. Baby Zod is like green. Like, he looks really nasty. Yeah, the problem is he went to the past and already grabbed it.
We are too late. The intruders are gone, and so is the projector.
Metron, at this point, some explanation is required.
We cannot risk delay for explanation.
Talk and float. Talk and float. Stop pretty. Oh, just throwing him out in the sun. Not only did Mantis get the projector, he got back in, time traveled, got everyone outside and safe. Like, truly, give him his tens. Give him a raise.
Mantis brought us back to New Genesis.
But the projector!
Mantis.
I already got that. Get good, Baby Zod.
Thank you, Bug. I underestimated you. Now, to the time sphere.
How about that? Mantis got us out, but did not compensate for the dimensional shift.
But without the sphere, there is no time to lose. We must use the projector to free my...
Why is his mom British but he's not? If he was raised by his parents, why does he have no accent?
Recharging it will require substantial power.
Mantis knows just the place.
Again, we are too late. They are gone.
You're supposed to be the super genius. You're not even telling anyone what's going on. So if we're too late, you're too late.
Trapped on this world, in this time period.
This
Thus,
time
we seek to
period.
activate the projector at once.
Then why not activate it here?
A significant source of power is required.
And again, it might help if you explained what this projector's for.
At this juncture, deciding the fate of the
Okay,
galaxy.
see, you threw that one line in there just for the drama, but you could have said, hey, it's the key to a Kryptonian prison. Like, even a shorter sentence than what you just said, and context.
We interrupt this program for an important announcement.
Forager will go to Forager's Earth Hive with Forager.
Forager would do that for Forager?
Of course.
I hate to say it, because, you know, I love Forager, but... Is this what we have time for at this current time? Like...
There's not a moment to
It was a little
lose if we
redundant.
want
I wish I would
to prevent an
rephrase
invasion
that,
from the
but-
Phantom Zone.
The Phantom what now?
Okay, you're like halfway to giving useful information.
This damaged child has a very strong will. His zone sickness took him deep. Pushed too hard, and we could lose him. But there is still much he might tell us of home.
So do they recognize that he's Kryptonian, or...
So all this time you've known there were surviving Kryptonians? In an interdimensional prison, no less?
And now another Kryptonian, a time traveler, is determined to set them free?
Why are you here?
Worst Krypton had to offer.
I not said as much?
Yes, Metron. Eventually you got around to it.
Then let us move.
Orion sneaking up the fave side character list.
It is essential that High Father organize their defense, mobilizing the Divine Guard and every new god, highborn and low, to ensure that this rogue Kryptonian has no opportunity to access the power he needs here.
The fact that there's still, like, highborn new gods and lowborn, like, y'all love a caste system for real. Oh. That's a really stupid looking robot. But see what I mean with, like, the Green Lantern guy, where he was just like, oh yeah, Kryptonian prison, the worst Krypton had to offer. That's all we really needed from him. Like, he's a GL, I get it. I didn't need to be like, ah, I have failed the House of L. I don't care about your emotional connection to them. I don't know you.
Power levels at minimum function. Optimizing.
I mean, if they're at minimum function, you could just keep charging.
Absorb the lake's natural source
Oh,
energy
okay.
even faster.
Interesting, like, what is that lake emitting that... And, like, they brought the Foragers to this fight? What's Forager gonna do against a Kryptonian? What's he even gonna do
He's
against...
overloading Mother Box, interfering with
Malala
her functions,
Bajib.
including communications. We are on our own.
Perfect. Wait, don't you need Mother Box to, you know, keep your head?
It will be difficult, but I've learned to overcome such challenges.
Follow the plan. Defend the projector.
Yeah, a Kryptonian and a Martian, like, y'all are... Mantis will be, you know, fine, but an old-ass Flash. This is not a lineup that I believe in.
You holding up?
I am fine.
Now we
Being condescended to on top of everything else doesn't make me feel better. Oh great, a mental fight. Orion seems equipped for this. Where's your buddy? Y'all don't want to go a 2-on-1 situation?
Activate. Subject Drew's on. Retrieve.
The babies.
Now keep him contained.
But wait, you said
You
that...
have no choice. Just look at him.
I'm curious, are they in a shared hallucination or... Like, obviously preying on her fear of him, but, like, is he also imagining he's still in the bubble and we know that he's claustrophobic? Or do they have separate hallucinations? What is this lake made out of? Oh, dear. So not a lake. A giant...
Promethean! Your machinations have awoken a Promethean!
If not contained or redirected, source energy cascade will ignite, incinerating the New Genesis atmosphere.
Why do y'all live there? I mean...
No.
I guess we live on a
Another world.
planet with like volcanoes that could theoretically do something like this, but that's crazy. Also, how come everything in this show eventually ends up in a like fire volcano? Or fire tornado is the word I was looking for.
DNA signature identified. DNA signature locked. Subject, Drew Zod.
I fear Baby Zod may be a misogynist, because I don't like the way he ignores his mom.
Drew Zod. DNA signature identified. Subject.
See, like, he seems like, yeah, my wife, my love. Meanwhile, he was just like, my mom was so lucky to carry me, the son of my father.
I've got you. I won't let them take you from us.
No, they're not. Wait. How are you? The retrieval, the trajectory. It doesn't recognize your DNA signature. Krypton didn't imprison you here.
Okay, so I mean, I guess it makes sense. If it's a Kryptonian prison, they found some random guy. They're like, I guess he was a prisoner that we just, you know, never met in all this time. But I mean, they've been in prison for a very long time. Oh, I guess not that long, because in this time, they would have been in prison for what? 30 years, as long as Superman's been alive? Because this is before the 1,000-year imprisonment situation.
But you told me he's claustrophobic.
I'm telling you, he's dangerous. Orion will always be Darkseid's son. He will always be a monster.
He's not a monster, he just needs help. I see you, Orion. The fact that you fight against the darkness that threatens to consume you, it makes you more, not less. It makes you a hero in my eyes.
I mean, that's all well and good. I don't know if this really feels like earned. Besides, I mean, like, they obviously were stepping towards it, but it's kind of like they've had 3 scenes actively working together. What the hell? What did... Ouch.
Willpower insufficient to maintain both shield and funnel. Cascade funnel failing.
Never again.
How do they measure willpower? Like, he's just like, oh! Oh dear! Aw, I like that! His willpower actually was reinforced at the time of his death. That's nice. Now it flies away. Do we have Jon Stewart in this world yet? I don't remember. Oh, is he like using claustrophobia to be like, I want to get angrier? Kryptonian versus whatever a Darkseid child is made out of. What? I love that! They knew I was gonna talk shit. They were like, oh, okay, she's complaining about the Forager plotline.
Beware, Forager's
Green
power.
Lantern's light.
Green Lantern's light.
Aw. That's nice. Well, guess Forager and Forager aren't gonna get to run off on their honeymoon, because she's got a job to do now.
Bioship, target the projector.
Phantom Girl, wake up!
Oh! No! Voice is deep as hell.
What just...
I mean, I don't believe that she could have realistically seen any of that through a tornado, and also like 1,000 feet in the air, but... Oh.
Get us out of here now, or I will snap her neck.
Very Homelander coded.
Are you all right?
I am well enough.
I'm only a little purple.
Where's Tomare?
Well, I'm glad this side character I've never met had a noble end. Aww, his friend died. Okay, I do feel bad for him. We're doing the montage thing again. Now I'm disappointed though, because I really wanted it to just be Kryptonians v literally everyone.
We'll work out the details later. But in principle, the treaty between the New Gods, the Green Lantern Corps, and the Justice League can be considered signed.
Now we can help each other find the rogue Kryptonian and rogue Martian still on the loose.
Trust me, the hunt is on. The Corps doesn't take the killing of one of our own lightly.
That's the only time we give a shit.
Forager has become a probationary member of the Green Lantern Corps. But Forager is torn. Forager wanted to accompany
you just met him. There's time. Although there were sentences about their lifespan, so I actually don't know how long they live, but...
Probationary Green Lantern Forager will go with Green Lantern Kilowog to Oa for training. But perhaps Forager and Forager could attempt a relationship long distance.
See, it's just like... I really enjoyed Forager becoming the Green Lantern, or a Green Lantern. But I don't think this romance made this better. Like, we already met Forager, and we met her, like, breaking into the castle, stealing shit. I was like, alright, she's cool. So, that would have been enough.
You deal with unique challenges, friend Rocket. But I believe you will learn to make those challenges your strengths. Thank you for seeing me.
Feels like we cut to the end of an emotional arc with those two without really paying any attention to the middle part. It's like, he's a monster, maybe he's okay. I see you. And it's like...
Face this. Deal with it. You need to take a closer look, my friend.
You're worried about the wrong things, Rock.
Thank you.
Did I or did I not say? The guy who has poor social functionality will be a direct comparison to her autistic son. Yeah.
I see you almost died.
Also, it's low-key implying that she also thought her son was a monster. Like, if we're assuming it's a one-to-one comparison, was she just like kind of thinking, oh, my son's kind of like crap this whole time? Like I know that's not what they're saying, but low-key that's what they're saying. Look at all these magic peoples.
I just don't understand. With all this power, how could we have failed?
Perhaps Connor Kent has attained his final rest.
Or perhaps Connor's not dead at all. And if he's not dead, then I don't need magic to find him. What I need is a detective.
Oh god, is this gonna be Nightwing? Which, like, what? I mean, obviously the whole detective thing is Batman, but he's not a main character, so it's gonna be Nightwing.
But never doubt, Forager loves.
I don't enjoy listening to Shakespeare with the word forager replacing all of the word eyes and you, or words that translate to I and you.
Adieu, Foragers evermore, most dear Forager.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I was so hopeful and so excited at the idea of like, we're gonna bust all these Kryptonians out. It's gonna be like everyone you've ever seen team up against a bunch of Kryptonians. Like, I was so excited for that concept that we're not getting it, or at the very least not getting it yet. Makes me sad, because I think it means if we do get it, it's gonna be, we're gonna get some kind of Nightwing detective arc, which I don't really get, because how would Nightwing know about the Phantom Zone projector? Like, okay, fine. Rocket comes back and she tells everyone about her experience and blah, 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 and the Kryptonians locked in prison. But how would that take you to, okay, I think Superboy's there, right? Because as far as you know, he blew up. So even if you go, oh, well, he blew up and was teleported somewhere, and I guess Phantom Girl is the key. But if Phantom Girl is the key to getting into the Phantom Zone, then she's also the key to getting out of the Phantom Zone, which means that this whole detective thing may not even mean anything, because Connor is going to get out of the Phantom Zone with the help of Phantom Girl, and then inadvertently may bring out all the other Kryptonians as well. So that could be where this is going. But in that case, the fact that they didn't escape in this episode means they're probably not gonna escape, if they do, until like episode 24, and then it's gonna be like another one and a half episode thing to finish up the bad guys. And It's so cool. They're so cool, and they're so powerful, and there's so much to do there. I just realized my headphones are still in. So why would you waste them on like 30 combined minutes of screen time as the antagonist? Make them get them out now and let them be the antagonist. Because I don't think Baby Zod is enough on his own. I think once our main characters were no longer teenagers, having our main antagonist be a teenager doesn't work, right? Like everyone has to get older. It doesn't work the same anymore. The Forager situation, oh my God. They had like some of the best reveals, the most exciting like Phantom Zone related stuff, Connor related stuff in this little 4-episode arc, but my God, Rocket, pointless. Orion, I actually really enjoyed him, but like as a character who was introduced, not like this was building to anything. It was like, oh, as far as characters we've thrown into the show, I enjoyed him. Will he circle back? I mean, if the Kryptonians get out, probably, just because he's very strong and will thus be of use. I don't know. The Green Lanterns, Forager becoming a Green Lantern is pretty cool. So I did enjoy that. Did I enjoy the romance leading up to it? No. It's odd. I think there were so many ways to keep Forager in the story, and it's weird to me that they went with romance. And like, yeah, they throw it in of like, oh, well, you know, bugs, you know, have a much shorter courting process than like a human or a new god or whatever. But like, again, we were introduced to Lady Forager like stealing from the new gods. Like that's a pretty hard intro. Like she jumped from their floating city to her planet, and there even Orion was like, wow, like she was doing on the fly mathematical calculations to not, you know, die upon impact. So you're giving her this really cool introduction, and then it's like sidetracked by this romance with our Forager. And even then it's like, oh wow, bugs who've just been treated as like underlings, as garbage by the new gods, is just like little pests that live below them. Like you're at the table, right? You are here to be at this summit, and Forager leaves that to go on a little datey date, and I'm just like, why not have her enter the summit? Like, Forager's been gone for a while. She could speak for her people, and she would be that perspective of like, hey, we live here. I'm from here. You guys ignore us, but here's stuff that we need. And we even kind of saw these like hints of the discontent of the other bugs, of the bugs being like, you know, they think we're too stupid to handle new god technology, and then them even leaning into it when they're like, where is it? And they're like, what? Can we eat it? We don't know what erection cell is. So like, there's a lot of interesting like hierarchical caste tension to explore between the bugs and the new gods, similar to the Martians, and they just didn't do any of that. I don't know if they were like, oh, we already did the whole apartheid thing, so we don't want to do it again. We wouldn't want to be repetitive. So I don't know if that's what motivated them to go the romance route instead, because it's like, with as cool of an introduction as Lady Forager got, they kind of cut all that to do the romance thing, and then it ends with her becoming the new Green Lantern. It's like, wow, that'd be so cool. Like, it's still cool, but it'd be cooler if we continue to see her as this really cool character and not high school graduate Forager just reciting Shakespeare. Like, what does that do for me? Anyway, I didn't mean to talk this long about the Foragers. Choices were made. Flash. Why was that ancient man? Why? What purpose did this guy who is not one of our main characters, who's not even one of our second tier characters, or season 2, season 3 characters, why was he on this mission with them? Was he more useful than like Artemis in this situation? Probably. But it feels like this was a really missed opportunity for like the actual main characters to get more screen time. Hell, they could have brought Violet in. They could have brought Cyborg in. Oh, I'm an idiot. They could have brought Cyborg in. And it's like, oh, well, they didn't want to bring Violet and Cyborg because Violet and Cyborg were literally part of the conditions of the discussion. Fair point, right? You don't want to bring the people to the people who want to kidnap them. But that would have been even more interesting, because it'd have been like, no, say it to my face. What do you mean? If we're having this whole storyline about acknowledging Orion's personhood, separate from who his parent is, separate from his anger issues, how about acknowledging Violet and Cyborg's personhood, separate from the technology that made them? Get on my level, writers. But no. Choices were made. Baby Zod doesn't like his mother. I feel like we all just need to acknowledge that. They figured out that Superboy was not imprisoned by the Kryptonians, so now there's going to be a lot more questions about who he is, where he came from, how he got here, and is he a way by which they can leave, which is going to lead right into Phantom Girl finally waking up, and again, presumably her power set is going to be the means of entrance and exit from the Phantom Zone. Although it is interesting because they were saying how like they'd never seen her species before, so I'm like, is this just a species that's from the Phantom Zone, or they just have a natural affinity for it? I don't know. I don't really know anything about her, so I feel like I'm going to be learning along with all the other characters, but I assume that's where that plotline is going to be going. I feel like at some point we're going to have McGann and her brother have like another head-to-head, right? But it doesn't seem like you can have her brother in one of them like, as assistant to the main antagonist and not have it come to another head-to-head between those two, especially after her little like his like, oh, you're the one who killed my sister's fiance. Good. Like, I feel like she's gonna that's gonna be the first thing she sees. She's gonna see her brother and just like see him saying that, and then all bets are off again. I do kind of like when McGann is pissed. I think she's so powerful, and I like seeing Martians fight. They're so cool. I do think it was absolutely audacious to have that lineup against a Kryptonian and a Martian and have them lose. Okay? That don't make no sense. Them destroying the bioship showing up, camouflage and destroying the projector. Okay, that could happen because everyone's like distracted. But really, and even then, Baby Zod didn't even fight. He was literally just standing by the projector waiting for it to buffer. If he'd actually been fighting, it's a wrap. It's a wrap for all of you. And then Green Lantern got distracted very conveniently by this Prometheus thing. Which again, it's like, I feel like they didn't want to do a Green Lantern Kryptonian head-to-head because he was losing that. And I mean, he did lose that. But it was like, okay, he's going after Baby Zod. And then, oh, you woke up the Prometheus or whatever. And so then he gets distracted by that. And then he has this emotional success of saving another planet, which is all well and good. But it really just seemed like a convenient way to not have to have them fight Baby Zod. But then it was annoying because now he was literally just floating there. He could have ended that entire fight in 3. That little box did more work in that fight than Baby Zod did. And just because this has shown up in several comment sections, I know the first letter of every episode like spells out a thing about the series. I'm not going to do that until the very last episode, even if it wouldn't like spoil anything at this point. I just, I feel like that's the kind of fun little secret you find out as the show is airing, and then on the final episode you're like, ooh, there's a whole mystery behind it. So why spoil that early? Like, I'll just wait it out and have fun. They really gave that MST3K ass dude an emotional arc greater than Rocket's. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, she meets Orion and she's like, oh my god, he's a monster. They're like, no, you just have to look at him differently. You have to see past his, rough exterior. He's like a nice guy. And then she's like, nope, he sucks. And then a couple episodes later, she's like, you know what? He's not that bad. And then it cuts to her and her ex-husband being like, you don't have to care what other people think. You have to look past the surface. Like, again, the implication is that she really was kind of trashing her own son. Like, I feel like that does not flow the way they thought it did. Or maybe I'm really not reading it right. Like, she was supposed to, like, learn a lesson from Orion about how she interacts, treats with, and sees her son. Like, how am I supposed to interpret that in a way that doesn't imply that she was kind of shitting on her son, right? Like, she thought he was lesser in some way. Like, I feel like you can't make the parallel without saying that. And I don't think she deserves that. It didn't work for me. And I knew it wouldn't work for me. From, like, the first episode where I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna be a parallel for her son, isn't he? I saw it coming, and it happened, and it's not good. I do not feel bonita. They could have made this a full Crazy Connor arc. Didn't we have B, like, genetically modifying her baby last season? What? We could have followed up on that. That would have been... Although, Lord knows, I mean, this is how they handle autism. I don't know how they would have handled a GMO baby, but, Couldn't have been worse, probably. That's like a less positive note that I wanted to end this on, but like that really, that spun me for a loop. There were things I enjoyed about it. I think the last episode was the best episode of this whole arc, for sure. Not close, but I did like all the Zod parts. That part was fun. And I like that we are seeing where these Zod, family of Zod, seeing how probably they'll escape the Phantom Zone. How that will lead into the finale, I don't know. Just because I don't know yet if they are in fact going to be like the finale villains, or if it's just going to be that thing where they are about to escape and then the light steps in, right? And then Vandal steps in or Darkseid steps in, and it's just the like, oh yeah, if there's like too big a threat, our two main bad guys will come in and handle it themselves. Because that is a logical point. Like if they see themselves as endgame, they don't want anyone interrupting that. But then how like lame on the part of our heroes if the medium bad is stopped by the big bad and not the hero, right? So I feel like you have to end it on like the heroes defeating the Kryptonians. Otherwise, it's embarrassing, right? I don't know. That was a weird wind down. I feel like I started high and then just kind of trickled down from there, but yeah, I think I'm done with this one. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, comment, etc. All those good things that make me very, very happy. If you don't want to do any of that, but you've watched all the way to the end of this video, thank you. I still really, really appreciate you. Catch you guys next time. Peace.